It's the hashtag Simply Cyber, COMMUNITY. Here to break the cycle, this is vital more than you and I. Yeah, it's exciting, it don't matter what your title is. You can grab a friend or two or three or four and vitamins. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's that live with Jerry every morning, having good time. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time to grow together. It's that Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's the live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time to grow together. Dr. Auger is a OG, got that potion, the elixir. Got devotion to all those who keep us showing up to witness. Fit the tricks, equips, and all the tips to raise your cyber fitness. Switching up the routines, pass it off to James McQuinn. Keep the people smiling, hit that follow, that's a good decision. Every week, today, tomorrow, I encourage y'all to listen. We gon' teach y'all way more than how to protect yourselves from phishing. More like being confident so you can recognize a vision. On a mission, it's official, we gon' get through all these issues. Time for jaw jacking, baby, this is more than a tradition, yeah. Oh, I can't forget to recognize the mods. They the engine, they the reason that you leave it feeling charged. It's that Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's that live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's that Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's that live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Yeah. What else can I say? I hope you find some value in this place and have yourself an awesome day. Simply Cyber's here to stay. So let's all put our hands together ready. Time to hang with Dr. A.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Tuesday, June 17th, 2025. This is episode, get ready for this, 900 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Free podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, and over the next hour, as we've done over the previous 899 episodes, me, you, Chuck Sapp, Haircut Fish, Jesse Johnson, the Cosmic Cowboy himself, Jenny Housley, Justin Gold, Casually Joseph. We got some Eric Taylor action, Anthony S., Marcus Kyler, Nightbot, Devin Grady, Sam Suyula, Sean Washington. I'm sure AA Witherspoon's going to be creeping in here in a hot minute. Dennis Keefe in the OSINT faction, Elliot Matisse, Phil Stafford in the San Francisco Sound Machine. We are all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day alongside the Sippy Cup. I did dig it out because I know Space Tacos wants some Sippy Cup action. Guys, all of us, we're going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day, and I'll be doing everything in my power to basically give you a threat intelligence brief while also going beneath the headlines to deliver value to you based on my 20 years of experience and education, ultimately to provide service to this community so you can take those insights, take that knowledge, whether it's tactical like go patch this or be on the lookout for that, or it's more strategic like or operational, like this is how you should do vulnerability management correctly, or this is why configuration management sounds like a good idea and will immediately fall on its face every time you use it unless you do these things. Or maybe strategic, like, oh, what do these geopolitical things in this executive order mean for me? We're going to do it all because that's my obligation, that's my mission, and that's what we do here every single day. Welcome, Team SC. We got a great show for you. I'm super pumped now, as always. We're going to go through these stories. I haven't researched or prepped any of them.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Because ain't nobody got time for that. Come on. Come at me, bro. We're not going to be able to handle that. So you're going to be getting my rough, rugged, raw initial reactions and off-the-cuff insights. Honestly, I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm an attendee of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief as much as I am the host because I literally have no idea what I'm going to say. And it's usually quite interesting and quite entertaining to myself. So get your coffee, get your water, get your bourbon, your beer, whatever it is. Elliot, get your Pliny the Elder, and let's get cooking today. Now, before we get into it, as always, I do want to say shout out and thanks to the stream sponsors. Just as a programming note, I'm going to run through all 4 of them right now because I'm off next week, and we have a very special host all week next week, and I want to make the ad reads wicked easy for him or her. So bear with me, all right? Hopefully the music's not too loud, guys. All right, let me do it really quickly. All right. Guys, I want to say shout out and thanks to the stream sponsors, those who enable me to bring this show to you every single day, starting with my friends Barricade Cyber and their Fortify 365 solution. Is your Microsoft 365 environment secure? Well, with business email compromise attacks on the rise, your entire operation could be at risk. Fortify 365 from Barricade Cyber Solutions is your defensive shield. Their team of experts implements proven security standards to protect your business from cyber threats, ensure compliance, and safeguard your sensitive data. They've helped countless organizations strengthen their M365 defenses with tailored solutions that address real-world vulnerabilities. Don't wait until after a breach to take action. Visit Fortify365.com today to learn how they can secure your Microsoft 365 environment against tomorrow's threats today. I also want to say shout out to Antisyphon Training. Guys, Antisyphon Training is disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by offering high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. Their team of industry professionals assemble some of the best curriculum and course delivery you're going to see this side of the Mason-Dixon line, this side of the Mississippi, this side of the Rockies, this side of the Atlantic, this side of the Pacific. You choose your own graphical boundary, and they're the best on one side for sure. And the jury's out if they're not the best on both sides. Holler. I own an online academy, and I'm telling you, like, they are amazing. They're so good. It's all about supporting each other, not about, competitiveness like that. Just know they've got tons going on. Go to antisyphontraining.com, click on the course catalog, and you can see they have their upcoming course schedules. They've got courses in June, July, August, red, blue, whatever it is you want, they've got action going. All right, so go to antisyphontraining.com. Remember, links in the description for all of these are below. Let's hear quickly from ThreatLocker. I'll be chatting with you in chat. Bodie McBoatface. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. All right, thank you very much. Just really quick, want to remind you also about Flare Academy. Now, I love Flare.io, the website, which is the landing page for Flare's cyber threat intelligence capability. But did you know that Flare has an academy side with training, tons of free, basically instructor-led webinars, for lack of a better term. But they're, a couple times a month, high value. As an example, on June 23rd, Jason Haddix is giving a talk, the Jason Haddix, bug bounty hacker methodology, CISO, CEO, trainer. The dude's awesome. He's right here. And as an example of what Flare Academy offers, you can learn operationalizing cybercrime data for red team and offensive ops, 2 hours. And the best part is, right after the webinar is over, you can go on Flare Academy's Discord and talk directly with Jason in this instance, or whoever the instructor is. So use the link below. It's simplycyber.io/flare. It will take you directly to the upcoming talks they have. This is gold. Don't miss on it. Don't sleep on it. It's totally free. You can just register and go check it out. It's awesome. All about good times. Finally, I want to say shout out to Delete Me really quickly. And I'll explain something in a hot minute, guys. Delete Me. My readout here. All right, so check it out, guys. Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. Delete Me does all the hard work of wiping you and your family's personal information from data broker websites. As someone with an active online presence, privacy is really important to me. I worry about my home address, my kids, my wife. I mean, when I'm on travel, you know what I mean? Like, people see me in hotels or at my in-laws, they know I'm not at my house, right? So that's concerning. I want control of who has access to that data. Take control of your data. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at a special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and use promo code simplycyber at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter code simplycyber at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/simplycyber, code simplycyber. Okay. Now, if you were counting, I actually just did 5 ad reads. The reason is because next week, Delete Me isn't one of them and Flair is. And I want to make it super easy for your guest host next week. Guys, I'm super excited. If you want to guess in chat, I'm not going to say you're right or wrong, but if you want to guess in chat who your special guest host is all week next week, go ahead and drop it in chat. So thank you for bearing with me with the ad reads. I know that was a lot to consume. Guys, we got a great one for you. Mom of a Few is here live. Very excited. She doesn't typically get to do the lives. So happy to have you, Mom of a Few. Guys, I also want to say shout out. We got Mara Levy, Amatola Agbana, Dark Iceman, who's a relatively newcomer who's been coming consistently, Legrot, Kyle, Augusta Delgado. Hey, Alpha Sierra, I see you. Oh, yeah, people guessing Keanu Reeves. We got some Tyler Ramsby guesses in here. Jack Scott. We got some Eric Taylors. These are all great guesses. Hey guys, if today is your first episode, drop a hashtag first timer in chat. Hashtag first timer in chat. We love welcoming our newcomers. If it's your first time live, and we don't do this often, but if you are a regular listener but you never comment, right? James McQuinn introduced me to an individual who I guess I'll say his first name, Nelson. I know Nelson's watching. What's up, Nelson? Good to see you. Also, Brian, who from my PBCC course, I believe his son was named Connor. They listen in the car in the mornings. So good morning to all of you. But if it's your first time doing something, let us know in chat. John Strand, DP, nice guess. Steve Burke, maybe. Okay, hey guys, not to get everybody wicked excited. If Snoop Dogg did my show, that would be insane. Do me a favor really quick. Don't get too excited. I do have to take this hoodie off. I'm sweating my butt off right now. And, you got, hold on. Just please bear with me.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Get some Thinks Canary love in the house. I love Thinks Canary. All right, here we go. Really quick, not a sponsor, but love their product. Shout out to Thinks Canary. If you've used a Canary token in your life, you know exactly what's cracking with Thinks Canary. They are awesome. All right, guys, do me a favor. Everybody, sit back. Wait, hold on. Let me top off the sippy cup. Space Tacos, I saw you showed up later. No audio or something. It flew by in chat, but got the sippy cup for you, Space Tacos. Let's go. Sierra Montgomery, please contact me. Sierra Montgomery was our community member of the week. I gotta I need to have her contact me. Also, guys, it's Tuesday, which means one thing: Tidbits Tuesday. Whoop whoop. Let's go. All right. Do me a favor, everybody. Sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of DJ B-Sex Spicy wash over us in an awesome wave. See you guys at the mid-roll. Let's cook.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Tuesday, June 17th, 2025. I'm Rich Straffolino. Beware of SMS 2FA middleman. An anonymous whistleblower provided Bloomberg Businessweek and Lighthouse reports with auto-generated login codes related to roughly 1 million SMS messages with two-factor authentication codes sent in June 2023. All these messages pass through the Swiss company Fink Telecom Services, which cybersecurity researchers have previously found worked with government and private surveillance contractors to track user locations and spy on phones. Fink Telecom is one of the many intermediaries that process SMS factors for other platforms. Fink CEO Andreas Fink told Bloomberg that legal restrictions prevent them from seeing message content and that it no longer works in surveillance. Fink generally operates as a subcontractor for other SMS processors, so the platforms sending the codes have no direct business relationship or oversight of them.
Oh my God. I mean, this is true. I guess it's one thing I hadn't really thought of. Hey, Alana Boyajian. Hey, FedEx. Glad to get you excited this morning. So guys, I mean, how many people okay, so really quickly, SMS is a text message, for lack of a better term, and essentially it allows people a version of multi-factor authentication. Now, I have always been long to say I'd rather have a text message than no multi-factor authentication, right? So the whole idea of dude, if you turn your okay, I'm sorry, I'm starting to say like 4 different things all at once. Listen, number one, if you're such a purist that you turn your nose up to text messages as a form of multi-factor authentication, I would suggest that you might be in the middle of like the Dunning-Kruger effect, and you should take a beat and like think about the bigger picture of risk and what you're trying to manage. So if your choices are multi-factor authentication with SMS text messages or just a long password, like you take the SMS text message with a long password, like it adds value. Yes, it can be SIM swapped, and apparently this particular issue is kind of gnarly to give consideration to, but you're increasing the level of effort. Dude, have you ever tried to do something that was really frustrating and full of friction, and you're just like, fuck, like I'm done, forget it. Like that's what it is to stack defensive controls in place against a threat actor. They can stumble over them like a tripwire in Walking Dead and alert you or just get frustrated and fall down. They can basically not succeed in getting past your defenses because of that extra. Dude, there's a reason why castles in medieval times had a moat and a bridge and walls. Like, do you think people in medieval times were like, you know what, let's just use a moat? Like, we don't need friggin' walls. There's a water right there. They're not going to get past it. It's like, no, you obtuse, lacking sharpness and wit, nitwit. Put the walls, put the archers on the walls, put the gate, put the little metal thing that goes up and down on the gate, put the moat, put alligators in the moat, like clear the trees a mile in front of your castle so you can see people coming. Do all the things, assuming that you have the budget, the resources, and the time. This is GRC. This is information security management. This is building out an information security program that's deliberate and takes into context risks and threat intelligence and all these other things. Okay, I'm sorry. It just that has nothing to do with the story. It's just like it bothers me when I've heard people just like straight up be like, no, text message. You know that meme? It's like a blonde woman. It's like a jiffy. It's a famous one. She's like, If a mods can pull that, it's so apropos right now. So here's the thing. When those text messages come in, they're not coming across Signal. They're coming across some, like Twilio or this Swiss telecom company. And technically, yes, when you log into a server, say Google or whatever, and it hits the activation to send the code gets generated and it passes through a bunch of different intermediaries. And technically, yes, someone could intercept that and redirect it, either a copy of it to a threat actor or just straight up redirect it to a threat actor and have it not come to you. How many times have you ever tried to like reset a password or verify your identity and like the email doesn't come or the text message doesn't come? Usually it's not some nation state threat actor or some cabal like Spectre from 007 trying to get into your, friggin' Dashi or your DoorDash app. It's just crap happens, right? This right here is interesting. It's something to include in your threat profiling. This is not something that I would worry about for like my manufacturing company or whatever. But like, this is a gap, and this is a supply chain. This is a supply chain attack gap. Hold on. My my description to the mods, it was not good. So now I'm looking for it myself. It'll be so worth it. It'll be so worth. Like it. All right, whatever. I'll work on it. It's definitely it's a woman in like a pink dress, and she's like pursing her lips, like duck face kind of thing. I know none of these things are like the keywords to look for. Anyways, TLDR. I will say, remember, a threat actor has to have your password. Like, think about all the things that would have to happen here. Threat actor would have to have your password and username. Threat actor would have to know where your codes are generating from. I will say, if they know your phone number, they would need to know your phone number, because they would have to intercept it in a presumably it's going to have your phone number as the delivery address. So yeah, if you're concerned about this, there's better options. Use a 6-digit authenticator app that rotates every 60 seconds, like a one-time password. Authy, Microsoft Authenticator, Google Authenticator. If you're really, really concerned, use something like a YubiKey, a hardware token, passkeys. If I don't know if you can use passkeys in a multi-factor authentication thing, but you know what I mean. Legrat's picking up what I'm putting down. I will find this one. I will find this one. Just give me 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I'm on the hunt. Let's go to the next story.
Police seize Archetype Market has been online since May 2020, selling a high volume of illicit drugs for over 3,200 registered vendors with over 250 million euros in cryptocurrency transactions. As part of a joint action by Europol between June 11th and 13th, Operation Deep Sentinel disrupted the marketplace. Investigators in the Netherlands disrupted infrastructure. A 30-year-old German national suspected of being an admin was arrested in Spain, and a suspected moderator and several alleged vendors were arrested in Germany and Sweden. The Archetype site now displays a message warning that the domain has been seized. Zoomcar hack impacts 8.4 million users. The India-based car
Oh, Jesus. All right. So the Mobile Studios, a law enforcement sound effect, actually goes along with Warren G. Nice, dude. Okay. Guys, dark web marketplaces are a thing. When they have the redirect, obviously law enforcement has taken it over, but chances are they've just updated DNS to redirect to a FBI-controlled server. It's not like they went in and hacked the index.html file. Dude, this place has been operating for 5 years. I'm sure they're doing all sorts of nasty business. 6 countries involved in this, so I love. If you know me for a minute, I love. I love some. Like basically international law enforcement coordination. I love it. High volumes of drugs, coke, MDMA, synthetic opioids. Speaking of synthetic opioids, I just saw something like a $7 billion settlement or something like that for opioids in Purdue Pharmacy here in the United States. So, or I think it's the U.S. Let's see, 600,000 users, no big deal. $250 million. That's kind of wild, dude. Think about this. 5 years. So they were doing $50 million euros a year, or like roughly 60 million USD. I'm not saying dude, Simply Cyber doesn't make 60 million, but when you think of a company that is selling drugs, which pretty much has a high markup, and they had 600,000 users, that's like each user spending $100 a year. I don't know. These numbers don't make sense to me. I feel like this volume would generate more money, but whatever. I literally don't care. Let's see. Yeah, they arrested the admin. Oh yeah, look at this. This is such a epic win for the splash page. Look at all these law enforcements. Who we got in here? The Polish police are in here. I like that. The Department of Justice, of course, leaning in. IRS, CI. Okay, so let me tell you 2 things. Number one, and I say this all the time, a dark web marketplace, you have to take the admins down, first of all, or they're going to resurrect it like almost immediately. Secondly, there's such a demand for these dark web marketplaces that those 612,000 people are just going to go to another dark web marketplace, unfortunately, right? So there's that. If you're interested in learning more about dark web and, the interactions and stuff, like this dark web marketplace was operating for 5 years. How are they making money? How are they operating? This book right here, Tracers in the Dark, this book is phenomenal. Anytime it comes up with a dark web marketplace, it's in here. These are case studies from the FBI. The reason that I queued up on it is because this one right here, you see at the third from the right, and if you're just listening on audio, there's a list of all the shields for different law enforcement agencies. The third one from the right says IRS.CI or -CI. This is the cyber crime unit in the IRS, which most people think IRS, take my tax dollars, F you. In reality, they have an entire criminal investigation unit within the IRS, and that's actually who's featured in at least 2 of these stories in Tracers in the Dark. It might be all 4, but they follow a law enforcement officer who was like one of the first ones to be like, yo, what's this Bitcoin thing? And how is this being used for crime? And they cover Silk Road as the first story, Ross Ulbricht getting taken down. Fascinating. I'm telling you right now, if you read this book, you will not be disappointed. You will be very happy. Programming note or an asterisk to this one, there's a chapter called Hello Video. It has to do with CSAM material, and I couldn't read it. There's a Darknet Diaries called Hello Video that covers that chapter. I was able to listen to it, but it's still uber disturbing. So just, you can skip it. It's the last chapter, so you'll get tons of value. The other thing I want to point out is that just as a quick aside, really quickly, since I drove, actually, hold on, I'm going to make a note here. All right, I made a note. I just got my Tidbits Tuesday. This is great, though. Law enforcement, keep crushing it.
Company Zoomcar informed the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission that it learned an unauthorized party accessed its systems on June 9th. An investigation found that a threat actor accessed a limited data set with personal information on 8.4 million users, including names, phone numbers, and car registration numbers. Zoomcar said their data represented a subset of users across India, Indonesia, Egypt, and Vietnam. No group claimed credit for the breach. Zoomcar told the SEC the incident did not cause a material disruption to operations.
Yeah. Dude, it's so funny. Like, read between the lines, guys. Like, when there's a data breach of a company, but it doesn't impact their service delivery, and it's just their customers whose information was impacted, they all do it. They're like, oh, don't worry. Like, this, hey, dear shareholders, this doesn't affect our value. Dear SEC or stock market. Again, when you're reporting to the SEC is there to protect shareholders and investors. So when you're reporting to the SEC, you're basically reporting to the shareholders that don't worry, the value of our company, the money that you've invested in us is still good because we're not impacted. It's all of our customers. It's like basically like the crap has rolled downhill and we are still wearing white linen suits and looking clean as I don't know what looks clean. I don't know, like Andre 3000 getting ready to go out in Atlanta with so fresh and so clean. Not a great metaphor. Not all of them are home runs. So that's the gross part. 8 million people got hit. So obviously they're going to have to provide, you would think, like identity theft protection. Name, phone number, car registration, physical address, email address. Not good. What could we use this information for? Clean as a whistle. I mean, do whistles get clean? Why are whistles clean? Here's the deal. This information could be used as recon into another. As clean as freshly fallen snow. Thank you, Jenny Housley. That slaps. Yeah, so they have your physical address and they know about your car. So if they find out, I have an old pickup truck. If you didn't know, I have an older pickup truck. or not old, but I mean, it's a 2017. It's not new. No one's coming to my house to take my pickup truck, right? But if you're driving a Bugatti, right? Shout out to my son Callan, who like loves saying the word Bugatti. If you got a Bugatti, they got your physical address and they know where you are. They even have your name, phone number, and email, so they could actually contact you and basically, I don't know, get you out of the house, find out where you are, whatever. This is individual social engineering attack. Yeah, Zoomcar, you're fine. Dude, until there is some real penalties with real teeth, like maybe look at GDPR as a case study, businesses are going to do the minimum. Right? They're going to do the minimum. Okay, think about it. Again, I hate to be this guy, and you get to see a little bit of how the magic's made back here because I couldn't adjust the camera. Listen, you're a company, okay? Like you're a company and you spend $1 million a year on expenses, right?
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
James McQuinn, holy crap, James. James McQuinn with a super chat, $100 super chat. Congrats on the episode 900. It's this awesome community that has made Simply Cyber reach this level. I'm excited to be part of it with all of you. Hashtag Team SC. Thank you, James McQuinn. I got to tell you guys, since I started Simply Cyber, I didn't know James McQuinn at 35,000 feet before Simply Cyber. I met him after Simply Cyber, and we have become fast friends. He's been to my house. We've eaten meals together. Like he's met Mrs. Auger. Like it's just very good friend. We text regularly. It's all about good times. Thanks, James. Hope your travels are good. My metaphor was basically like, what incentive does Zoomcar have to protect this information beyond the bare minimum? Protecting this information beyond the bare minimum costs money, takes time and resources. If you have $50 in one person and you can invest it in securing this data a little bit more beyond minimum, legally required, or you could introduce a new feature that your sales team can sell and make more of that sweet, sweet cash.
Straight cash, homie.
What do you think a business is going to do? I hate to be so like, I'm not trying to be cold or crass, but it's just, it's literally capitalism. Like, that's the thing. If you're trying to get number go up and you're investing in something that doesn't have return beyond the minimum required legally, then you're making a choice to invest it. And some businesses do that. People that care. And honestly, this, like what I'm talking about right now is literally, that's like a senior GRC thing. Like basically what I'm talking about, this challenge, that's what a CISO does. Like, yeah, a CISO builds a program and manages down and all these other things. But a CISO needs to make those compelling business cases on why investing in security is worth the investment, why it can make returns, why it can allow you to be faster, move quicker, and not have operational downtime, right? And honestly, like, oh, we need data tokenization put into the databases so we can protect this, personal information. They're like, what happens if the personal information gets out? Oh, like our customers could get angry. Well, and then it becomes a board decision, right? CISOs don't decide, right? CISOs have to make compelling business cases to get funded so they can execute on their mission.
Whiz acquisition faces antitrust scrutiny. Bloomberg sources say the U.S. Department of Justice opened an antitrust investigation into Google's planned $32 billion acquisition of Whiz. That deal was announced back in March. The investigation is in its early stages and could stretch on for months. A block on the deal wouldn't just deny Google adding a strong cloud security portfolio to its pocket, it also carries a $3.2 billion breakup fee. The DOJ also investigated Google's 2022 acquisition of Mandiant, but eventually cleared the deal.
All right. I mean, these antitrust lawsuits, they're basically designed to prevent monopolies, right? And not the not the guy with the monocle monopoly, not the scammy McDonald's monopoly, just straight up that, like, basically Google would have, I mean, honestly, the way Amazon kind of dominates the online marketplace space, I mean, that's like an example. Like, actually, a really, again, I'm assuming everybody here knows what this is, but for those who might be younger or hadn't heard these terms before, like the easiest way to think about antitrust and monopoly, like if you look at Amazon, right? Amazon, the online retailer, they sell stuff and they sell other people's stuff, right? So they have all the numbers. Amazon can see what's selling and what's not really selling. So if yoga mats are flying off the shelves, Amazon knows that. And if you've seen Amazon Basics, if you've seen that product line, Amazon Basics, and you're like, why is Amazon making batteries and yoga mats and HDMI cables and all this other crap? They literally have a competitive advantage because they know what's selling and they can make their own product because they're like this massive, massive multi-billion company. They can sell the yoga mat. They literally know the yoga mats are selling for $20 a mat, so they can sell theirs for $18. They have all the information on who's selling what, where, and what price, and they like to me that's antitrust. But that's an example of where having a monopoly and unfair market advantages come into play. Like literally the entire idea behind antitrust is to protect capitalism and competitive markets and to prevent one group from becoming so large that they can control the entire market. Google is trying to purchase Whiz. Whiz is a cloud security company. Google is one of the 3 biggest cloud service providers in the world, right? I mean, Google itself kind of runs a lot of stuff, frankly. And, I feel like this antitrust investigation is more, due diligence, if you will. They did it with Mandiant incident response form. Whiz is huge. I would see this going through. If anything, this is completely tinfoil hat, by the way. Hold on. Let me get my tinfoil hat on. This is completely tinfoil hat. If I had to say anything, I almost feel like this is like a shakedown, right? Like, oh, you want to merge, do you? Well, wouldn't it be unfortunate if something happened to this deal? I'm not accusing any politicians of being corrupted. It just feels like it's one of these like lawyers dragging their feet and all this other stuff. And honestly, it could be the people who are competing in this market with Google throwing a fit. And, then I appreciate lawmakers and legislators and regulators stepping in and honoring that instead of just being like, nope, we're going to let it slide. So Stacy Loki, who's our Team SC member who works at Whiz, also saw on LinkedIn, she is keynoting her first keynote. So congratulations on that, Stacy. Love watching your career explode in the best way possible. We'll see where it goes. Honestly, guys, I know Google is making this investment, but for me and you, hold on, who is it? It's me, Alex, Roswell UK, Space Tacos, Josh Brolick, Wright, Jacob Ripper, Age, Brusenhack, Zemif. Guys, for us, honestly, I don't think it really matters if Google buys Whiz or Whiz stays independent. For you and I, as consumers of it, the final thing I'll say, and this is more of that like strategic vision thing. If you haven't been paying attention over the last, 10 years, maybe over the last 10 years, there has been a concerted effort to consolidate cybersecurity solutions into one platform, one stack. So look at the big players, right? Cisco, for example. Cisco bought Duo, right? Cisco Multifactor. Cisco bought Splunk, SIM. Cisco bought AMP, EDR. Okay, look at Google. Google, I don't know who Google bought. Does Google even have an EDR solution? I don't think they do. But Google bought Mandiant. And anyways, my point is there is this consolidation if you look at it. I think someone didn't Cylance got bought by BlackBerry. Like BlackBerry was making some kind of weird move. I feel like, by the way, this is completely unhinged, but I want to say it. I feel like this is so unfair. You know the meme of the 3 dragons and 2 of them look really scary and one of them looks goofy? I feel like that's like the goofy one is like BlackBerry Cylance. Like it's completely unfair, but it's like one of these things doesn't make sense to me, right? Like, oh, we've got Microsoft and Defender and Sentinel and Ruar and Cisco and acquiring all these things. And then you've got like Cylance acquiring, BlackBerry acquiring Cylance. And I mean, for what it's worth, BlackBerry did do a pretty good pivot from mobile phone provider to cyber, but still, it's still goofy.
And now thanks to our episode sponsor, Adaptive Security, OpenAI's first cybersecurity investment. As deepfake scams and Gen AI phishing evolve, Adaptive equips security teams with AI-powered phishing simulations featuring realistic, personalized deepfakes and engaging security awareness training. Their new AI content creator turns threat intel and policy updates into interactive, multilingual training instantly. Trusted by Fortune 500s and backed by Andreessen Horowitz and OpenAI, Adaptive helps you stay ahead of AI-driven threats. Learn more at adaptivesecurity.com. That's ADAPTIVESECURITY.com.
UNITY, right? Get a little Fuji's in here. All right, guys, let's do this. All right, holla, 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 holla. Thank you so very much, everybody, for being here. Genuinely appreciate all of you. We're off and running. It's a lot of fun doing the show, leveling up. As you can see, I've improved from yesterday's mobile studio to, a little bit more upgrade. I went to the FedEx store and got my gear. So this will be the look and feel for the next 2 months. Got the sippy cup action going. All about good times, guys. Every single day of the week. We thank the stream sponsors, Barricade Cyber, Antisyphon, Delete Me, Threat Locker, all about good times. I do want to, I'm sorry, hold on. Marcus Kyler is 100% right. I literally made a mistake, and it bears fixing, okay? For some reason, I said UNITY was Fuji's. It's definitely Queen Latifah. Like old school Queen Latifah when she was part of that, oh my God. What was that collective with Jungle Brothers and Black Star, Mos Def, Talib Kweli, De La Soul was in there. It's like the People's Collective Initiative. It was like the anti-crime, anti-violence rap collective in New York City in like the mid-90s. Anyways, thank you, Marcus Kyler. I screwed up. I own it. All right, guys. Hey, every single day of the week has a special segment, and Tuesdays is Tidbits Tuesday. I got a double shot for you. Guys, I love retro synthwave. I never thought hot pink would be one of my color jams, but it just works. Guys, this week I drove 17 hours, and like classic dad, the radio was not on for 17 hours. Everybody was in their mobile devices, whatever. And I listened to back-to-back episodes of Darknet Diaries. And while I listened to the Chris Rock one, which was great, I listened to a bunch, but there's one that was really interesting and borderline disturbing, but really interesting, and I'm recommending it to you. And mods, if you could pull the URL for it, I'd appreciate it. It's called Kill Room. We talked earlier in the show about this Darknet marketplace getting taken down, the Archetype marketplace. Well, if you've ever heard the rumors that like you could get murder for hire in the dark web, right? There's like these murder for hire websites. Well, this investigative journalist actually like went deep, and he found that all of them were scams, but he found one that was like really pretending to be real. It turns out it was a converted Romanian credit card scammer after credit card scamming went under, and it is a scam site. But what's interesting is the people who are trying to be customers at that site don't know it's a scam. And this guy was able to hack the website and get all this information, feed it to law enforcement, and they went and took down these people who were trying to have like their spouses murdered. It's wild. It's wild. It's a very good Darknet Diaries. Thank you very much, Jenny Housley. Check it out now. Look at this.
I used to live and work.
This is it right here. I'll link it in chat right now. If you have a chance, guys, it is it's really well done. I mean, Jack over at Darknet Diaries does an awesome job anyways. Dragos, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. Not everybody in Romania is not everybody in Romania. But it's a good one, especially if you've ever questioned about the murder rooms or any of that stuff, okay? All right, guys. Alpha Sierra is going to lead us off here with our la-la-la-las. Really quick, I had another Tidbits Tuesday, but I'll tell you right before we hand it off to Eric for jaw-jacking. Let's go. La-la-la-las. All right. Oh, this looks problematic. Oh my God, this title.
SEC backs off on investment cybersecurity regulations. In 2022, the SEC proposed new rules for investment companies and advisors, requiring them to create policies to address cybersecurity risk and provide reporting on cyber incidents and risk to the Commission that occurred over the last 2 years. These new regulations already faced a rocky response, with the SEC eventually reopening the public comment period in 2023. In a new notice, the SEC said it would withdraw these pending rules, and if it pursued similar regulations, it would issue new proposed rules.
All right, hold on one second. So the SEC, again, is responsible for, not really for protecting consumers, but for protecting investors in publicly traded companies. So if they're pulling back cyber regulations, that's interesting because those would be used to protect investors. But here's the question. Again, I guess I'm like old enough now or gray enough now to be like not just immediately knee-jerk reaction like, oh my God, well. It's like, okay, like let's talk about it. What were the regulations? Were the regulations that you had to notify within 15 minutes of Carl clicking on an email? That would be very burdensome, right? Or is it something like you need to use MFA, right? Like, so the scale of like seriousness is quite wide. So let's take a look at this really quickly. Let's see what we're doing. I mean, obviously this favors companies, as I mentioned earlier in my rant about capitalism. I mean, what's the friggin' rules? Like, I hate this crap. Can we, like, I guess they didn't write this news article for us, but like, what is it? Part of the thing was for broker dealers and investment advisors to adopt cyber programs. You would think so. Dude, get the out of here. This is like, oh my God. Welcome to 1998. Okay, so here's the deal. From what I'm gathering from this report, remember, I don't research or prep these things in advance. What they're saying here is that, like, so Google's acquiring Whiz, right? So two publicly traded companies, or Whiz might not be publicly traded, but anyways, Google is. There's investment advisors. Like when you're dealing with, and again, I'm a little out of my element right now, but when you're dealing with like millions and millions or billions of dollars, there's people involved who help advise and make sure that, everybody's getting paid basically, right? So investment advisors, those are third-party companies delivering a knowledge service. There are broker dealers like who help manage the deal. So think about like when you go and buy a house. Like if you go and buy like a snowmobile from someone's driveway, right? There's a sign on it's like 400 OBO. You like walk up, you give them $400, really $350, and you're like, I'm not giving you more than $400. And they're like, fine. And the thing's probably worth $200. And you're like, oh my God, what did I just do? But that's a transaction and you shake hands. You don't think twice about it. If you've ever bought in a house, there's like lawyers involved and there's other people and all sorts of crap like that. Because the bigger the investment, the bigger the deal, the more like, I guess serious you want it. So these dealer brokers are the ones who are setting up the deals and arranging them and all these other things. But because of these two people, investment advisors, dealer brokers, They have access to all sorts of financial sensitive information. Again, going back, if you've ever bought a house, they rip through all your finances and they want to see everything about your finances. So they have access to all sorts of sensitive information. The proposed argument was that those companies should be included in having minimum security requirements and security programs and notify if they suffered data breaches. The reason I said welcome to 1998 is because back in the day when I was, knee-high to a toadstool, there was all this thing about like, oh, we don't say anything. Like if you notify, the share value will go down. If you notify, the threat actors will know what your problems were. This obtuse way of thinking is so stupid. It's the equivalent of saying we shouldn't disclose vulnerabilities because the threat actors will know what they can exploit. It's like, dude, if we notify, then there's knowledge share, information sharing analysis centers like, oh, hey, this investment advisor is getting cracked over here. They got through the email. This is what you should look for. And then all of a sudden, all the other investment advisors are like, oh, shit, we should probably protect from that. The idea that you can stick your head in the sand and that's called cybersecurity is so, it's so short-sighted and so ignorant and so poor a decision that it blows my mind. Listen, I get it. Like, let's not regulate business. But at the same time, guys, there's a way to disclose cybersecurity breaches in controlled ways. There's ways to disclose cybersecurity breaches that don't disclose the attack vector or the ongoing operations or the scope of the problem. Just enough to say, hey, we suffered a cyber breach, and then here's a TLP red disclosure on what it is. And people who are read in, this is the entire idea behind classified information. Anyways, whatever. This is going to move like a steamroller, and I'm not going to be able to get in the front of it. It's just I'm explaining to you why I think it's a good idea and the parallel to 1995 and where if you disclose the vulnerability, you could get arrested. Go look at Google DEF CON Cisco arrest. And you could see someone who got arrested walking off stage at DEF CON like in the 90s for disclosing a vulnerability, right? All right, let's go. Whatever. I'm fine. It doesn't even bother me. I'm joking, though.
Spicy!
Deersteeler makes the case for subscription malware. Researchers at eSentinel recently documented a new campaign showing the rapid development of the Deersteeler subscription-based info stealer. The attackers initially use a phishing page to prompt a PowerShell command that launches an attack chain to execute hijack loaders and then eventually deploy Deersteeler.
Jeez.
The initial installation uses a signed binary from Komodo, which loads a manipulated DLL to inject the info stealer into a legitimate process. The researchers found that Deersteeler is evolving quickly, adding macOS support, multi-client targeting, and at higher pricing tiers, re-encryption, payload signing, and further customization. The basic subscription still supports extracting data from over 50 browsers, includes a hidden VNC for remote access, and can target crypto credentials by monitoring clipboards and messaging apps.
Wow. Dude, this is pretty cool. From a threat actor perspective, this looks like a complete, this is a complete, it's not really malware as a service. This looks like it's a complete, threat actor as a service, they provide you the phishing tactics, the lures, you get someone to click on it, it deploys malware, it steals all their stuff from their 50 different types of information from their browser, which again, you shouldn't save anything in the browser if you can. Let's see, it's the click fix attack. Dude, at this point, guys, I really, really encourage you, you really, really should create some type of educational content for your workforce around this click fix. It's in the news every single friggin' week, if not multiple times a week. Essentially, the victims are directed to a phishing page of some sort. Either, email is common, but whatever. They get on a phishing page, and then they get this pop-up, and it's going to automatically copy PowerShell code to their clipboard, which they're not going to see. And then they want them to run a window, pop up a Windows a run prompt, and then paste the PowerShell code in and run it. And at that point, they're infecting themselves. It's like literally This is no, like, seriously, this is the equivalent of like going to a web page, like you're at target.com or whatever. I guess let's not talk about Target. They're still on the like bad boy list. Like let's put like whatever. Tractor Supply Company. And like you go there and then they hand you a gun and they're like, shoot yourself in the leg, and you're like, yes, I'd love to do that. Right? Like that's like what is going on here. The threat actors, like all they're doing, like the extent of the threat actor of the initial infection is copying PowerShell to a clipboard. That's what they're doing effectively, right? And then, once they run that initial code, they're going to wear you like a pair of pants, all right? That's when they're going to start sticking in info stealers. Like this one's called Deersteeler. It doesn't matter. It could be called Voltron Stealer or Flim Flam Stealer or, riding low on the hip on a train bound for glory Stealer. It doesn't matter. It's a freaking Stealer. Rinse and repeat. Okay? It does do, it looks like it does process injection, which is kind of an advanced technique. Basically, you like if you do start run task manager or right click task manager and you look at processes running, all the processes, you can inject code into a process. In some instances, it'll look like a child of the process. This is why if you see command.exe running underneath Excel, you should be like, what the hell? Like that's something, but there's also a technique, I don't think it's in here, but there's a technique called process hollowing where you actually, like, you basically remove part of the code inside the memory where the process is actually, written into memory, and then you insert your your new malicious process into that space, and then you can point to it, and this is called process hollowing. It basically makes it so it doesn't show up in your process tree, but that's more advanced. They've got all these other capabilities here to harvest creds and then send them through VPN, email, etc. Again, you'll notice gaming clients, if you can send data out, whether it's Telegram, Signal, SharePoint, friggin' DNS, like it doesn't matter. If you can send data, you can transmit, right? So be on the lookout. Again, at the end of the day, guys, nip this one in the bud. Educate your end users around the click fix. Tell them they shouldn't be, copy and paste, or not. They're not even doing the copy. They shouldn't be pasting anything into Windows Run. It's not real. On top of that, if you can, disable your end users from being able to run PowerShell. That'll help too.
Hackers compromise email of Russian researcher. On LinkedIn, Keir Giles, a prominent British researcher on Russia, disclosed that several of his email accounts were compromised by threat actors impersonating the U.S. State Department. An analysis of the emails by SecureWorks and Mandiant found it likely the campaign was operated by the Russian state-sponsored group known as Iron Frontier. Giles warned contacts to proceed with caution on any unexpected emails received from him recently. This isn't his first experience with these types of attacks. Last year, threat actors tied to Russia's intelligence services impersonated academic researchers in an attempt to compromise his email.
Yeah. All right, guys. This is one of those examples. Oh, yeah. Hey, actually, FedEx, great point. ThreatLocker could help this, right? Because you're basically running unapproved or unauthorized binaries on the system. And even the process hollowing attack, I think you would need to run the code to do the process hollowing, so which ThreatLocker may or may not address. So good point, FedEx. Thank you. Guys, here's the deal. If you're an investigative journalist, if you're a researcher, if you're targeting anybody that is super powerful and super interested in not being effed with, you are a target. So for me, like managing information security at a manufacturing company or running an incident response MSSP company, like, well, actually, that's not true. Like, I guess you could piss some people off if you ran an MSSP, but for the most part, like, the level of resources to attack this guy, it's a mission, right? It's coordinated. He's probably got good defensive things in place. Hopefully he's aware. It sounds like he's been attacked in the past. So he's probably got some, he's not retaining sensitive information in email. It's more of just a transmit vehicle. He's probably using encryption. of data in transit, like all those things. But it is frustrating. This is no different than a nation state attacking another nation state. Go look at what China did with the golden ticket in Microsoft Azure a couple like 12 months ago. Look at Russia getting into SolarWinds Orion and how that went, right? So like they're going to get into these sensitive informations, whether it's organizations or individuals. This guy's obviously touched a nerve on Russia, right? If they're wasting effort to get after him, they're clearly interested in what he's learned. So yeah. Anyways, this is one of those ones. It's interesting to note that this is part of the attack techniques, but like you and I, in my opinion, I'm not taking action at work on this one for any of my clients.
NIST publishes new ZTA guidance. This new guidance is meant to serve as a foundational starting point for organizations building their own zero trust architecture, although it cautions that all of these need to be custom built for a given context. NIST includes 19 examples of zero trust architectures built by organizations using commercial, off-the-shelf tools and technologies. The guidance is meant to augment NIST's previous conceptual level ZTA documentation, which it released back in 2020. It emphasizes a phased deployment that starts by identifying and cataloging assets, building out access policies, and eventually achieving continuous monitoring and improvement.
All right. Guys, if you're a squad member, if you have a little colored SC logo next to your name, do go in the emote tray and make it rain. I heart NIST. Oh, it feels so good. So nice, I'm going to do it twice. Oh, yeah. Like, that is a reason that emote exists. So zero trust architecture was the... actually, you know what? Hold on one second. I can't change the light because I don't have a... this key light I don't have a remote for. But just for the sake of discussion, NIST. All right. So listen, zero trust architecture was the I mean, like, Gartner probably did a report on it or something in like 2020 or something, because everybody was like zero trust architecture, all the things. Zero trust architecture is not a solution. You don't pay money and get zero trust architecture. Zero trust architecture is a combined philosophical approach to your organization's infrastructure. And yes, it is an architecture that you need to implement, but it's an operational as well as a technical infrastructure. Zero trust architecture basically micro segments control around the identity, whether it's a machine identity, an AI identity, an end user identity, a device identity, right? It's around everything. So you have to prove or, basically get authorization as you access things instead of the traditional. And just in case you're wondering, the traditional architecture that zero trust architecture was trying to replace was this idea of like big, strong network perimeter and soft inside. Like the original back in like the 80s, 90s, even early 2000s, think of an M&M, hard candy shell, soft, chewy, gooey, chocolatey center. That was what, basically professional grade information security architecture was. And once we found out that threat actors can get in, once we found out that people are traveling all over the place and using mobile devices, once cloud took off and it became hybrid architectures and, SD-WANs and all this other crap, like the traditional way just wasn't going to work anymore. So they moved to zero trust architecture, and it's been a mixed bag. A lot of people don't know how to do it. The U.S. government under Biden's administration, in my opinion, foolishly declared that like all federal agencies needed to adopt zero trust architecture in like 90 days, which is insane. Like it's not a turnkey solution. It is it's a massive paradigm shift on the way that you run your IT operations and your IT architecture and infrastructure, as well as the way the business runs. So I always like kind of criticize that particular thing. That same executive memo said that they needed MFA everywhere. I agreed with that. But anyways, the TLDR here is if you are responsible, if you're a cybersecurity architect, if you work closely with your infrastructure leads, if you're operating in a hybrid environment, if you have some juice at your organization that can allow you to help influence and make big changes in the infrastructure, or if you're looking to, if you're interviewing, right, and you're interviewing for like, I guess like mid-level, senior level jobs, I would encourage you to look at this NIST document. Now, NIST special publications are notoriously voluminous and very, very long-winded. It's all great material. I would look at this and data mine it, figure out some best practices, and then either suggest them in your your business or bust them out in a job interview. It looks like the actual 1800-35 offers 19 examples of zero trust architecture environments used in commercial off-the-shelf technologies that can give them a starting point for implementing. So, I mean, dude, this is like actionable intel that you can use. Very, very cool. Thank you, NIST. Thank you, Dr. Ron Ross, who's since retired from NIST, but I love that guy. I love myself some Dr. Ron Ross. The fact that I had Dr. Ron Ross on Simply Cyber Fireside still blows my mind. Friggin' love it. All right, guys. That's going to do... Hold on one second. All right, that's going to do it. Now, before we get out of here and throw the mic over to Eric Taylor from Barricade Cyber Solutions, got a couple things to share with you. One... This was the meme. So if you were looking for the meme, this is it right here. I even forget what the story was, but this is the meme I was thinking of. So if you were playing the game and you were looking, this is it right here. This is how I felt. What was the story? I think maybe it was about the dark web marketplace. Whatever. All right, so that's one. Second of all, this Thursday for Simply Cyber Firesides. This guy right here, Michael Small. We're talking purple teaming, y'all, and I've got a bonus for you. I'm super happy about this. We're still rolling it out as far as like operational goes, but if you want to go to this, check this out. We actually have the ability for you to register now and sign up. So check this out. Come to SC Firesides. This is a process improvement. Just so everybody knows, the registration, it'll send you a calendar invite. And it'll remind you that the show's about to start. It's awesome. It's one click. It's super easy, super clean. On top of all that, we are going to be introducing CPEs. So if you attend this 1 hour educational webinar that doesn't suck, afterwards you'll get emailed a CPE. We're not there yet, okay? We're not there yet, but these are going to have CPEs. Also, because you're registering, you don't have to register to attend this, but if you do register, you get the calendar invite, you get the CPEs, and we are going to be doing raffles for people who registered. This is coming. Right now, all we have is the registration capability, but it is on the roadmap, so check that out. I'm excited. Guys, here's the thing. I've had so many people say to me, oh, I really wanted to go to the Firesides. I really wanted to see that Tanya Janka AppSec, and I just forgot about it. Or, oh, dude, the deep fake with Perry Carpenter that I had to pull down because it was like way too spicy. Like, people were like, oh, I wanted to go and I just didn't know. This solves that problem. This literally, you opt in to having a calendar invite. It's as simple as that. I'm not friggin' data mining these emails and sending you curated follow-up, marketing emails. It's just literally, do you want a calendar invite? Click yes. Okay? Finally, I'm going to be in chat. Like, Josh, Eric Taylor's going to be doing jaw jacking. Actually, hold on 1 second. I just allow me 1 minute because I just want to see something really quickly. Yes, everything's good. I'm going to be in chat with you guys while Eric Taylor is talking. But there's one thing that I'm like kind of flirting with, and I wanted your feedback because I don't want to spend the time, energy, and effort if you guys are not interested. I was recently thinking, like as recently as like in the shower this morning, I was thinking, would you all be interested in like a very candid, very produced, but just like quick and dirty, like from the desk of Jerry. Like literally, it's my desk and a screen share with my head in the corner, just of like once a week of like what I'm working on, what I'm reading, like something interesting, basically like an expanded Tidbits Tuesday. If you're interested in that, let me know. If you think whatever, like, yeah, I check it out, but whatever, let me know. Again, it's going to probably take me an hour a week, and I don't want to commit that if people don't have value in it or see value in it. But if you do, let me know, and I'm happy to like run it as a pilot. Okay, I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Don't go anywhere because you're about to be joined by the very talented Eric Taylor from Barricade Cyber Solutions for some jaw jacking, which is essentially an AMA, mentoring at scale. So if you are interested in all the good times, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with some jaw jacking. See ya!
Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jaw Jacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some jaw jacking.
Ransomware. Here I am. How's everybody doing today? Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Gerald. He's going to be in the back. So make sure if you're new here, please drop a Q colon and your question, so that way Dr. Gerald Ozer and myself can quickly find your question. Where did the music? There it goes. There we go. Got some music up in here. A little bit of programming note. I will be traveling the remainder of this week, but as I told Dr. Gerald Ozer, I should be able to do jaw jacking on Thursday. I will be in a very, really close to a metropolitan area, so my traveling home internet setup should work fine. What happens if you say click fix? You get, I mean, you don't have to say it 3 times, just run it once and you'll have a whole bunch of new friends to the party that you were not expecting. What's going on, Funky Monk? Hope you're doing well. Ravi, what's going on? Rust code, what about Rust code? Question: possible Jerry guy coffee in the works one day? That would be cool. Oh, so yeah, he will come in and do. So that's what he's kind of talking about, just like a separate ask me anything type of thing, and he'll just kind of tell you about what's on his mind.
Hey,
Never mind.
Quick, is your voice echoing?
I don't think so.
Oh, cool. All right. I always have audio routing issues. So John's asking about the coffee. John, there have been 3 iterations of me trying to partner with coffee roasters to have an official Simply Cyber branded coffee that I could sell or whatever. The first iteration, I didn't like any of the coffees. I refuse to sell a coffee as Simply Cyber if I'm not literally drinking it every day. That would be the most disgusting, fraudulent thing. I did find one on the 3rd iteration. I did find one that I really liked. On top of that, they actually made the bag for me with the Simply Cyber. It looked wicked cool. The problem was they wanted to charge $18 a pound, and then they wanted to sell it for $25 a pound, $18 a pound to me, so I would get a $7 markup. But to me, that's very expensive coffee. I can buy 5 pounds at Costco for $14, which is what I do. So for those reasons, it's a financial thing why there isn't a Simply Cyber coffee brand. It's not I haven't thought about it, or I haven't done it. So
you were going to coffee roasters in Charleston?
Yep. Yeah, we worked with them. It's too expensive.
Go see my buddy Brad at Coastal Coffee Roasters in Somerville. Just give him a call.
All right. Well, I mean, can you introduce me to him?
Maybe.
Do that, and I'll talk to him.
You think you got the end like that?
You're the one who just suggested it.
I'll get you.
All right. Thank you for the question, John. I'll let you have it, Eric.
All right. if I say ransomware, looking into mirror, do you appear? So I hope not. That would be very creepy. From Danny, have you ever discovered a vulnerability that had been overlooked by others? How did you identify it? What steps did you take to address it? Yes, I have found many vulnerabilities that were overlooked by other individuals. And how do I address it? I do proper notification to the vendor. Depending on how I found it, typically if I'm on an active DFIR case, or when I was on a active pen testing case, then I would notify the client first, let them know about the situation, next steps, and then get permission to notify the vendor. Which reminds me, I need to send another email to one of my client's vendors. Is that Deersteeler quick fix just Luma C2 2.0? Not always. The quick fix can be a malicious of different C2s. I've seen one last week that was literally downloading Metasploit. So, is it typically Luma? Yes. Is it always Luma? Absolutely not. Question: Have you heard of Flare Academy? How effective is it? How effective is the Flare VM? Learning malware analysis in it. So I have not tried the Flare Academy. I've heard good things. I figured that would prompt you.
Yeah, well, there's two things here. So first of all, Mika is a first timer, so welcome to the party, pal.
Great.
Wait, hold on, wrong one.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Second of all, you're getting confused. Flare Academy is the training side that's community service and free for Flare.io, the website that does cyber threat intelligence. Flare VM is a build, an operating system, kind of like Defender's version of Kali Linux that has nothing to do with Flare, the cyber threat intelligence company. Flare VM is a great tool and a lot of malware analysis. People enjoy doing that. Matt Kiley's PMAT course at TCM Academy uses the Flare VM if you'd like to run through it. But Flare Academy has nothing to do with Flare M. Like other than the name being the same, that's the only extent. So I just wanted to qualify that because obviously there was confusion there.
Yeah, I was getting ready to do that. So rude. I was taking it one line at a time. Sometimes you just can't help instructors and CISOs. See, this is exactly why forensic people and cybersecurity people are frustrated with CISOs. You start going through and trying to make sure you bullet point all the items to make sure they're fully understanding, and the CISO comes in, well, exactly. I always say that because it really is a real world situation, but I know I can go on a tangent a little bit because me and Jerry are buddies, and he knows I'm just messing with him to a good degree. Okay, we're going to bring up Jerry because I'm seeing in mod chat we're not going to do a stream on July 4th. What kind of crap is that? No, we need to have a stream. I don't care if I curate the stories for you. We're going to have a stream. It could be curated stories by Barricade. Make everybody drink. Question from Collins. Transitioning from software engineering to cybersecurity, really interested in breaking solutions. Okay, been doing some penetration testing, and I feel I have quite vast to cover. Any specific pointers? Transitioning from software engineering to sorry, I just want to reread that, make sure I get exactly what you're asking. So you're doing penetration. Yep, been doing penetration, but I feel like I have quite a vast to cover. So Collins, I'm going to assume, and making assumptions being the root of all evil here, that you have a lot of items to disclose in the final report. Okay, great. The one thing I would definitely recommend, you're going to have two reports. You're going to have a C-level report which outlays all the high level stuff, and you have a technical report that you hand off to the technical IT network admins, things of that nature, and that's the way you're going to handle it. So that way you cover everything without boring the hell out of everybody else. Hopefully that helps. Bear with me a second. I'm going to go rant in mod chat for a second. All right. Speaking of which, so what we're discussing in mod chat, for those who don't know, we are we're discussing July 4th and the lack of it. And I said, I don't care. I'll even host it if we need to. So I'm throwing a bunch of piss of vinegar over there. Speaking of which, what is everybody here doing for July 4th? Now, you can't say I'm going out to the bar. I'm going to barbecue. That, you know, that's kind of a given, right? I'll accept beach or, you know, going out on the boat or something like that. But I think the cookout is like a de facto. Like, what else are you doing except for doing a cookout? Yeah, I understand the Christmas and Thanksgiving, but come on, July 4th, that's another, whatever. I say we do it. But I'm a YOLO kind of guy. Yeah, I am debating smoking up some brisket or something. I got to look at the timeline for a couple things. So typically what I do, or what I like to do a lot of times, is I do a lot of pulled pork. I love pulled pork. Well, no, I mean, I like pulled pork. I think I like brisket more than pulled pork, but and I really like ribs. Holy moly, do I like ribs. But anyway, I digress. I like anything on the smoker. If I can smoke it, I'm gonna like it pretty much. But so I got a really good hash recipe that uses a lot of pulled pork for it. And like, I've even debated about, I don't know, I'll have to learn how to really use an offset smoker before I really entertain the idea of it. But, you know, just like doing block parties or something like that, and, you know, smoking up a couple of pork butts or shoulders the day before, so that way the day of you can be able to use that, because it's a heavy amount of pork that gets put into the hash. If you got a hash that does not use pulled pork, shame on you. We need to take you back outside. We need to take you outside. Keystone, yeah. So I have Traegers, or I have Traeger, and I do a lot of smoking. So my kitchen is outside. Mrs. Barricade's kitchen is inside. I love to hit the water and do some grilling, but Master got us working. Yeah. I mean, I know July 4th is a, you know, federal holiday. A lot of companies, even here, you know, company holiday. So, but I understand. I mean, we're on call too, right? So if we get a notification that something hit the fan, we need to respond, right? So Danny, taking kids to the obligatory parades. I've never been a big fan of the parades. Hanging out with the in-laws, I'm sorry, and lots of board games while praying for a season that I don't get anything. Oh, you use PagerDuty too? Dude, I've been using that for a little while. I really, really like PagerDuty. Being able to filter out, and I mean, I don't have a big enough team for escalations yet, but maybe in a couple years. But just not having to watch your emails, and you got the workflows in your SOAR notifications for anything high or critical or anything like that going over, so you're only paying. You can kind of disconnect and just listen out for that PagerDuty sound, and then PagerDuty will freaking blow up your phone calling you too. So, what do you do when you know that you effed up with what you said? I'll have to go back and see. I'm not knowing exactly where you're referring to, Angular. Do me a favor and resubmit it. Going to the shooting range in the AM. So I just got a SIG P365 AXG Legion yesterday. We'll be using that for we're in a constitutional carry, but I still want to get the CWP. Concealed weapons permit for those who are not in the know. And constitutional carry means you're not required to have a license, but I think I'm still going to get it just to be on the safe side, especially with the amount that I travel. So, but my default one, I got a Glock 19X that I really, really like. Got a couple of rifles from SIG as well. So I'll just see if any of the local shooting ranges are going to be open. Smoking meat is not bad for your health. Smoking cigarettes are bad for your health. PagerDuty, what about Meshtastic? I don't know anything about Meshtastic, Scout. And PagerDuty integrates and everything with the EDRs and stuff that we use, so it's a no-brainer. You know, sometimes going with the path of least resistance in terms of integration is a lot better than trying to build out your own. Oh, speaking of building out your own, so most people here know that I created the EPSS tool mostly to mess with DJ BSEC, but it's turned into quite a freaking tool. But we're going to have an update to that tool soon, where it's actually going to. I'm working on the ingestion now. I'm building out another database in the back end. And the reason why EPSSLookupTool.com is so much faster is because every hour there's a cron job that pulls all the data into a local database. So it's able to populate that information so much faster. But anyway, I'm working with a couple of my CTI threat intel feeds, both internal and some of the ones that we pay for externally, to start pulling in CVEs that are tied to a threat actor. So if you look up a CVE or an EPSS or CVE, and say that if there's a known threat actor using or exploiting that CVE, then that will come out, or that will show in there as well. And I'm thinking about making another change to it. So, like, even if there is not a EPSS score, it'll still populate the CVE score because, it'll just say, EPSS not found or no valid thing, right? So yeah, absolutely, man. That's literally what it's there for. Really? Hold on. So Dr. Joe Dozier is literally telling me that people don't understand what the heck I'm talking about. Okay. So to remove confusion, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all have not looked at it, you're kind of newish to the podcast. Barricade Cyber, or I created what's called EPSS lookup tool. So if you don't know what EPS is, define, because I just want to make sure I get it correctly. Exploit prediction scoring system, right? So you have a CVE that is published. Now you want to find out, okay, of that CVE, how likely are we to get exploited from a CVE? So that's what EPSS is. So if we just say latest CVEs vulnerabilities, and of course some of my ads are going to show up because I'm logged into Facebook or Google right now. Well, you know what? Let's go back to Tenable. That's always a good one to do. So let's just try to find one that's a little older so it will populate. All right. So in here, you paste the CVE, click on check. Okay, so no EPS. This is what I was talking about, right? There's no EPSS score data found for the CVE. So I'm thinking about changing that where it will still populate it, but just say there's no EPSS score available for this CVE is what I am thinking. So let's try to find another one. And chat, if y'all have one that y'all know y'all have used this tool. Okay, so that one, Jiminy Christmas. This is the joys of live stream or showcasing something live. You're just trying to find something. Let's see. That looks like a patch reversal API. This looks like it could be something that's in there. It probably would help if I'm just not randomly clicking CVEs. There we go. So, this EPS, the likelihood of probability of exploitation in the next 30 days is 0.05. So, and then we got a reference here. Is it on the CISA Kev, which is a known exploit vulnerability? So CISA put this on their list, and as of right now, no, they haven't. And then there's always a link here. So one thing that you could always do is if you're just trying to put this in as a, let's see, just like a quick URL for this particular one as an instance, you can actually put that CVE right up there in the URL, and I'll paste the example here in chat, and it will auto-populate that data for you in the URL. All right, so like I said, and I'm thinking, right underneath the description or the last updated is where I'm going to put the potential. Sorry, I was getting pinged in Teams, but putting known threat actors or any known threat actors that are popping that CVE right now, just so you have more information when it comes to that type of thing, right? So hopefully that's a benefit to you if you haven't heard about that tool. CISA Kev has a Bolin for known to be leveraged in ransomware attacks. Can we expect that update? Yes, that's what I was just referring to. Prison hacks. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where to put that in the EPSS lookup tool, and just make sure that the data flows properly. So yeah, that is something I am strongly considering. I just got to work out the workflow, like how to properly ingest it, because I don't want it to, anytime you type something in, it's doing a bunch of, I thanks so much, Dr. Joe Dozier, take care. You know, doing one-off scripts I want to be able to populate, so being able to ingest that into the database on the back end, so that way it's quickly able to handle that data for you. But yes. I think we've gotten to most, if not all, of the questions. Just doing a quick search real quick. Space Tacos, I think he was supposed to. So y'all need to beat him up. Oh, so we got the update. So follow up, not you in particular, but I'm sure you said things that were wrong in the past. Did you correct it or move on? I've corrected it. Most of the time I just say, hey, I misspoke or I misunderstood the question, whichever one the truthful answer is, or the truthful statement is. Or I was incorrect in my understanding of said topic. Upon further research, I have corrected or modified my stance on a certain item. Just be honest. Honesty will go a long, long way. Best new cyber items to present in leadership this week? Yourself. I'm not being coy. Hey, I learned this week. That may be impactful to the business. Doesn't have to be an item, a tool. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I do have some personal items I got to get taken care of before doing some other stuff. Y'all folks have a good day. Again, if you're new, because I am jaw-jacking, we do a closeout of our sea shanty from Barricade Cyber, and then the closing notes for Dr. Gerald Auger. And with all good luck and fortune, I will be with you all on Thursday from a remote location. And I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work, but we'll get it taken care of, right? Thank y'all all so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing y'all next time. Until then, stay curious, my friends.
There once was a kid whose passwords laid across all sites. They were the same, a criminal then found their fame by taking that data to go. Soon may a criminal come to steal your pictures and data and run. One day when the crime is done, they'll steal your account and go.
Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed that content. Keep the cybersecurity train going by connecting with the other Simply Cyber community resources. We have the Discord server that's lively and always keeps the conversation going. You can connect with me directly on LinkedIn. And also every single weekday morning on the Simply Cyber channel, we're doing live daily cyber threat briefings, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, as well as Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We're doing live stream interviews with industry experts, and we produce videos that we push out every Wednesday morning. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I hope you enjoyed the content, and we'll see you in the next one.